Hey, you're at Steve Morris Engines. I'm Steve Morris. This is an engine we just got done with for Rob Mathews out of Florida. And something a little out of our normal deal. Now, of course, all we do is boosted engines and boosted LS's and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Big Chevys, Fords, Chryslers, doesn't matter what it is. But this being different because this is actually going in as airboat. Now, this is 427 cubic inch, dart block, dart cylinder headed, 427. Of course, has our rotating assembly, piston rod combination, and one of our hydraulic roller camshafts. The thing that, like I said, this is going in his airboat, so he's interested in and does not care because they never run it past 5,600. 5,600 is the max RPM because that's the max RPM on the prop, from what I understand. And so this thing, so he's only interested in what this thing makes from 3,000 to 4,500 really, and then from all the way up to 5,500 if he gets into trouble or whatever. It's at 5,200 is like the max that they do. So they prop this thing, put enough pitch in it to make it load, full load, and never be able to rev over 5,500 RPM. So he wants this really broad, flat torque curve. So, you know, we went with the Kenny Bell blower. This is one of our common packages, but with a little different change and a little different camshaft profile. Just a couple different things in this to make this a engine that runs from 3,000 RPM to 5,500 RPM. Don't care what it makes after that, and it would make more afterwards, but we're not concerned with what's going on up there. So it needs to run on pump gas. They sometimes will run a little bit of a mix, and this thing has full dress on it. You know, just a really nice piece. And actually, you know, oddly enough, interestingly enough, I mean, this type combination, you know, makes a real good deal for any kind of street car too. Now this gets to be a little bit of a problem. Not a problem in the boat because they don't care, but this would be a little bit of a, you know, drag race only issue, or, you know, something that when the throttle bodies are pointed backwards like this in the back of the car versus you know, a lot of times we run that big elbow that puts the throttle body up in the front. So you know, that gets me a little bit of an issue, and he's working on an air filter and everything for it too. But I mean, it's kind of cool looking, you know. And actually, we have another engine out there that's a clone to this with the same blower, same everything for another airboat. So these are really kind of a cool piece and kind of interesting, you know, this real low RPM, real high torque, real flat torque curve to make this stuff work. So of course we're using, you know, our Holley EFI on this one. This just has a Holley 120 pound/hour injector. You know, the Kenny Bell 3.6 and you know, Innovator West balancer and a diamond piston. I mean, it just has all of our normal stuff. I mean, you can buy everything that's in this package or everything that's in this motor in a kit form, or I'm more than happy to build it, assemble it, dyno it, test it. So the only thing Rob's going to do when he gets this thing is hook up the fuel line and hook up the power to the ECU, and this thing's done. And he's out playing in his boat. So something really cool and just kind of different for us. We're going to end up, he wants us to polish off the red on this, and so it'll be all polished and kind of shiny cool, so that'll be nice. And then, other than that, that is about it. So let's go out and make a pull on this thing, and I'll show you some numbers from a straight pump gas tune, and then we're going to put some, just a little mix in it to, you know, what we could do with a smaller pulley. So, just making a little more boost. And we're not leaning on this to make maximum horsepower, because we're only interested in what this thing does at 3,000 to 5,500. So anyways, I'm going to set the camera down. We're going to go out there and make a pull and take a look at some numbers, and I'll show you some stuff. let's take a look at the numbers. And you can see here now, this is on, I'll show you the lower numbers. Now this is, we put some race gas mix, just some 110 mix in it, just to be safer, because we did put just a little more boost in this thing. But like I said, what this whole application is for this airboat. So doesn't really care what's going on past 5,600. I guess they can't run this past 5,600. That's max prop speed. So he's only interested in what's going on between 3,000 right there and 5,000 actually, but we ran it up to 5,500. He says, you know, up in this area here he's in trouble and stuck and needs to get out of something. So they're really interested in what's going on here, and you know, trying to maintain this super flat, nice, broad torque curve. So I mean, if we look at our numbers here, you can see that we're at 3,000 RPM. We're at 971 foot-pounds of torque, 11 pounds of boost. 4,000 RPM, we're at 1,089 foot-pounds of torque, 11 and a half, or basically 12 pounds of boost. And at 5,000 RPM, we're at 1,100 foot-pounds of torque at 13 pounds of boost. 5,500, we're at 1,071 torque, 13 and a half pounds of boost. So really nice, broad, flat curve that is really going to work out really well for Rob there. Now let me show it. This was a little bit of premix in it, or not premix, but with 110 in it. Now if we go back, so this was straight 93 octane pump gas, where exactly he's going to run it in the boat. You know, the normal deal. So this is a little bit lower timing and a little bit lower boost. So we can see here, we went all the way down at 2,500. At 2,500 RPM, this thing makes 836 foot-pounds of torque at 8 pounds of boost. Now you do got to be a little careful down here in tune-up area, because they'll detonate a little bit down in here. So you have to be careful on timing and whatnot. But 3,000 RPM, 930, 9.9 pounds of boost. 4,000, we are 1,013 foot-pounds of torque at 10 and a half pounds of boost. 5,000, we're 1038 and 11 and a half pounds of boost. And 5,500, we are 973 at 12 pounds of boost. So this is going to be his real safe, easy, everyday pump gas tune-up. And if he wants to put on a smaller pulley and run the other tune, I mean, you can make another 100 horsepower basically. Real easy, just by doing a pulley swap and tune change. So anyways, real good piece. Think he's going to be happy with this thing. And I'm Steve Morris, Steve Morris Engines. Your one stop for, well, I don't know, everything cool.